Hello and welcome to Salt Nation TV. In this episode, I'm going to do an update about the Accord. And yes, Ed isn't here. Woohoo! So it's a Sunday evening. I'm having a little drive out. Ed and I have just filmed an amazing video on an amazing car. And I thought it's about time I update all of you who are interested about the Accord. Now, I haven't done many Accord videos this year in 2022. And the reason behind that is there's been some ongoing issues I've needed to get sorted. There's been more content to film because Ed's finally kept a car for longer than 3 seconds. You know, I just haven't had much chance to get it sorted. I mean, let's enjoy this bit of road. Oh, I do enjoy that bit of road. Now, let's get to the title of the video. Did I break my Accord? Well, the answer is, as you can see me driving it, no, but a little bit. I have broken it a little bit. I'm not 100% sure exactly what I've done at time of filming, but I was on a drive out a couple of weeks ago with Johnny and you know, Steve from Ignition Junkies and his amazing legacy, you know, and a few other people, Will, who had his Starlet with him that night. And what happened was, the day before, I just had my brakes sorted again, my rear brakes, which have been a nightmare, even though I spent the best part of 500 quid on getting a full set of calipers completely refurbed. You know, the rears, carriers and calipers were fucked. So when we put those refurbed ones on, the front carriers were also fucked. So I had to use the unrefurbed carriers with the refurbed calipers for the front. And it took Dale, when we, you know, put them on, it took Dale a fair while to sort out the rears. Well, it turns out that one of the rears, which was the problem rear from the original set of calipers and carriers, was fucked. I don't want to have to continually swear, but it was fucked. It was fucked after it was completely rebuilt. So who knows what's going on there? I'm not trying to blame anyone, although I do. And you know, I had to spend more money at it. I had to throw more money at it. It ruined the set of discs, my EBC discs. Thank you very much, Adam from Performance on the Net, for helping me out with another new set of discs and pads. Yellow stuff all the way, baby. And I finally had them installed by one of our friends, one of the Dave the mechanics. So my rears were brand new. I went out on a drive out the day after. Obviously not quite used to needing to brake in the rears. Thought it would be all right, but I was a bit hesitant at points on the drive, and you know, others I was a little bit, you know, as if my brakes were still a bit shit, and they aren't anymore. They actually work. So there was a couple of little mistakes. Lines I took on this drive out weren't what I would normally do. I got a little bit enraged by a car that I've never seen on it before, never met, you know, the people who were driving it hadn't been on a drive out that I'd been on before. I'm pretty sure that was their second one ever. Not that I'm a veteran, but you know, I'd never seen them before. And they were up my arse, and I mean, all I could see was the roof of their car behind me. That's how far they're up my arse. And so, you know, yeah, all right, you're driving more quickly than I am, that's fine. We had a stop off. I asked the guy to go in front of me. I said, look, you know, mate, like, you're going to go a bit faster than me. I'm not really up for somebody up the arse of my car. So, you know, I'm getting used to my brakes. Go in front. I allowed him to go in front. So did a GTR, an R33 GTR also allowed the same guy to go in front of him. So you can imagine, you know, he was, you know, thankfully very confident with his car, but that's not what I want to have on one of those drive outs. And it was a little bit disconcerting, and I felt a little bit embarrassed, to be honest, because normally I don't worry about that. I don't have an issue with that. This car, believe it or not, performs superbly. So I was a little bit riled, a little bit pissed off, and you know, not with the guy, just in general, I was pissed off. And like I'll be, because I've got a lorry in front of me on a really nice bit of road that I like to drive. But I dealt with that, but I'd made a couple of mistakes just after, and I kind of felt a little bit embarrassed, a little bit gutted. I met a guy called Tom for the first time. He's got a Mark 6 Euro R Accord, which is stunning, awesome looking car, mate. And he was behind me, and so obviously I wanted him to see the benefits of the Mark 7 and how good I am at driving the drive out course. And it didn't go that way. And then after making a couple of little, you know, alignment errors on the road, nothing massive, nothing that noticeable, just where you kind of knock your own ego a little bit with it, I tried to make up for it, and then I lost all sight of what I was doing, and I hit a humpback bridge way faster than you should ever hit a humpback bridge. I got air, and when I landed, I mean, you know, I'll give myself credit, I landed the car fine and continued to drive before pulling off, but the car landed heavily. I felt the scraping of metal, and even though I didn't initially think, oh shit, I've broken my car, after about another 100 yards, I went, oh, I've got to pull over, I've got to check it because it feels a little bit looser. Could have been psychosomatic, could have been subconsciously thinking that it was a little bit not right. And so we had a look, and we noticed two sort of areas on the front subframe that had clearly caught or contacted the ground, which then you kind of go, right, okay, I've overcompressed my suspension. It felt okay, but it felt a little bit looser. Thankfully, there were no leaks. You know, Johnny, at the next stopover, Johnny with Rumblebox, that amazing, the best modified Super in the UK, in my opinion. Thankfully, you know, he noticed, you know, he had a look, he helped me, and you know, we could find nothing wrong with the car, which was great. Obviously, I carried on the drive and thought, I'm just going to be driving within myself a little bit because, you know, I've lost a bit of confidence. But the car didn't feel right, and it still doesn't feel quite right. Now, I've driven it a couple of times since, and, you know, on this bit of road here where it's a little bit twisty-turny, I'm going to be intrigued to know if it holds on well. I think I might have, you know, already killed the already aged bushes on certain suspension components. Hopefully I haven't, because I need them to last a little bit longer. But essentially, the car doesn't feel quite right. The alignment issue that I had anyway, it was a slight issue, is now a bit more of an issue. But the car seems to be driving okay. I mean, I'm driving this bit of road at speed, and it's not that it's twitchier than it would be normally, but not particularly. So, you know, slowly replace everything. And that leads me to one of the biggest things that is coming update-wise for the Accord. Finally, I'm moving away from IBAC Pro Kit lowering springs, and I've got a set of coilovers in order through the lovely guys at Exo Racing, our channel sponsor. And I do love driving this car, even if it is a little bit twitchier than normal. You know, I've got some yellow speed. Now, I did a lot of research into it. I've got some yellow speed coilovers. I can't remember the exact name of them whilst I'm driving right now, but I'll stick them up now. I've got those coming. I did a lot of research into the sort of driving that I generally do, how I want the car to handle, and for the budget, and you know, it was a high budget, it just wasn't BC Racing coilovers high, I chose those. Now, I've had people like Dale from On a Mission say he didn't get on with his on his CL9 particularly well, but they come with a 2-year manufacturer's warranty, so that's good. And you know, the amount of research and reading that I did into them, I think they'll be fine, and I hope they are, but they should give me exactly what I want response-wise from the car. Not only have I got that coming, which is epic, I've also got Dale building me, or at least finding the parts to help build me, an amazing gearbox that's going to be in this car. Now, I'm not going to give too much away, other than the only gear from the Accord's current box that I'm keeping is 6th gear. Yeah, the other 5, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but it's going to change this car forever. It's a game-changing mod, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and if it wasn't for Dale and the way that he's laid it out for me, I wouldn't be able to afford it. I really wouldn't. I'd have to just go, sorry mate, the idea is incredible, but I can't afford it. Dale's really helping me out. He's doing me a solid on it. So, you know, I'm going to have not only the car handling more responsively in the way that I want it to handle, but also I'm going to have an incredible gearbox, which, you know, is going to include an LSD and a light and flywheel. I'm going to have to get a new clutch at some point in the near future because of it. I'm going to have to replace a lot of things, like, you know, ball joints, extended ball joints, because of the type of loads that I'm expecting to get on the yellow speed coilovers. You know, I'm going to have to look at the toe arms and the rear camber arms and all of that. But this is why I'm doing it, is because of this car. This is a long-term project. It's a car that, at this moment in time, I don't envisage selling at all. I don't envisage selling it in any way. I want to keep this car and continue to make it better. Now, if it gets to a point where the shell of the car is destroyed, is too old for me to really get much enjoyment out of, then obviously I will have to think about that. But if the engine's fine, the running gear is fine, then I'll transfer it into other cars. I mean, I would have taken that corner quicker, but I've got a Volvo in front of me, so, and a motorbike behind me that's just caught up. And the guy's putting his brakes on again, so, oh, fun times. But it is a Sunday evening, so I should be less of a dick about it, and I will be. Apart from going into VTEC there and overtaking the dude. And now the motorcyclist wants to overtake me, and he should really, because, you know, my car is a bit more twitchy than normal. And I'm just paying a bit more attention and not looking at the camera for that bit, because that's quite fun. But yeah, you know, we've got coilovers coming, we've got more handling mods coming, we've got more interesting, I'm not going to give the game away, game-changing bits of kit coming. This car, with the help of people like Dale and the guys at Exo Racing, instead I say people like Dale and then Matt and Kim at Exo Racing, I wouldn't be able to realise my dream in this car, or start realising it more at least. I mean, it won't be realised with just those things going on. There's plenty more to do, but without knowing those guys, I wouldn't be in a position where I can improve something that I love. And I love this car. The chassis is incredible. Everything about this car really does mark it out to be a car that deserves to be modded. And I'm just going to stop here. The chassis is so incredible handling wise. The general demeanour that this car has when you're driving it, when it's fully aligned correctly, and then with the handling mods I'm bringing into it, this car is going to be phenomenal. And it already is a great base, and you know, everything that's been done so far makes this a great car. But I don't want to move on from it. I love it, I enjoy driving it, and everything that I'm going to do to it is to make this car better every time, make it even more of a driver's car. Now, a lot of people say the Mark 6 Accord Type R or Euro R are the two driver's Accords, followed by the Euro R, you know, the CL7, the Mark 7, and the Type S, the CL9. I want this car to be the car that people go, oh, that's setting the standard. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be done in a matter of weeks. But the plans I have for this are huge, and I really, really, really want this car to just keep putting a smile on my face, and I'll do whatever I can to accomplish that. And I mean that. You know, cars get under your skin, and this car has got under my skin more than any other car I've owned. I get bummed out if I haven't driven it for a few days. That's how I feel about it. You know, I've got my CR-V now. I've got another Honda, and a Honda that has all of the torque. But it doesn't feel like this when I'm driving it. It doesn't engage me in the same way. This is an incredible car. And once I've made it a little bit more safer with getting the alignment done when the coilovers are on it, and you know, I'm going to be a lot more open to people that I know that can driving it, and me going, see? And I reckon that'll be the answer. I'll be able to go, see what I was saying? Incredible. Anyway, let's stop harping on about what is being done, what's in the pipeline, and you know, did I break it? A little bit. I think I have broken it, but only a little bit. And you know, I love this car, and I don't need to talk about that anymore. I love it. It's incredible. So I hope you've enjoyed this, me talking about the Accord on my own whilst going for a drive down some nice twisty turny fast lanes. If you have, then please subscribe, turn on notifications, and find us on social media. And until the next time, I've been me, you've been you, whilst I burp, so I'll do that again. Oh. I've been me, you've been you, and well done for that.